Yo, Shabarobly, and today this is what if Deku had Divine Lasso. With that being said, let's get into it.
Winter time, all the time, ooh. Yeah, okay. Disrespectful and okay. Winter one hell of a kid. Smoking gas, dude. Winter. What you doing out in dick? Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh. Yeah, look at the way that I move. Swag, disrespectful and I'm rude. Okay. I had cocaine in the school. Winter one hell of a kid. I am smoking gas, jogging mid. I'm lit. What you doing out in dick? I swear. Slick talker since a jet. Finesse. I know that this what they want. Facts. Run up some money, I'm gone. I'm out. I'm the truth like Ron. Killing. Sipping lean and saying one. I did it. I taught myself to finesse. For real. I taught myself how to judge. For real. Being broke was no fun. No way. Winter time all the time. Winter time all the time.
So we start off this edit with Deku going to the quirk doctor to find out what his quirk is. And they would pretty much tell him that his quirk is absorbing matter. So if he wanted to absorb an object, he can absorb it. If he wanted to absorb a living thing, he can absorb it. If he wanted to absorb energy, he can absorb it. So pretty much, Deku's pretty happy about this quirk. At least he didn't get no quirk. It may not be the most flashiest thing of all time, but maybe he can still be the number one hero with it. At least that's what he thinks. But Deku gets to school, he tells Bakugo and his supposed friends about it, and pretty much Bakugo just tells him that quirk is ass, I got explosions and whatnot. And pretty much, Deku just puts his hand on the table and it totally disappears by like 2 seconds later. So pretty much, Bakugo, he's like, what the fuck? Where's my desk? So pretty much, Deku, he just showed off his quirk. And a lot of the kids haven't even got their quirk yet. So they're still amazed by how Deku, one, he got a quirk. Two, he just erased a desk from existence. Then he just pretty much puts it back where it was. Like he can just absorb stuff, then just, put it back. So, Bakugo think, okay, that was cool, but it's still not better than explosions. Which if you can absorb energy, you can absorb the explosion. So pretty much, Bakugo just tries, absorb this then. So he tries to absorb the explosion, and that's what he does. And Bakugo, ever since then, he has not liked Deku. So pretty much, that's where their friendship kind of ended. And, Deku continuously just started training with his quirk, wanting to be like All Might. But I still have to explain something, right? For him to have Divine Lasso, and it's not a quirk, he is not a Saiyan, so he can just use Ki. And pretty much, what happened to Ki over time, all that Goku, DBZ, all that shit is in the past, and Deku and My Hero is in the present right now. What I'm saying is that Ki kind of transformed and evolved into, quirks. And pretty much, when somebody uses or overdrives their quirk, they're pretty much overdriving their Ki. And not everybody has, pretty much most humans don't have a big amount of Ki, how Deku would have, because the more matter that he absorbs, the more Ki he gets. So he never really loses Ki, because he never, outputs his quirk like how, Bakugo would. So Bakugo, when he uses his explosions, he's pretty much, using Ki in a way. Or transformed version. So pretty much, when he uses his quirk, the reason why he doesn't use Ki, because it's not expelling power, it's absorbing power. So it's going back to him. So he bottled up a whole bunch of Ki. And he has pretty much, let's just say, if Goku had 10,000, a 10,000 amount of Ki, and normal humans had a 3,000, Deku would have a 7,000. That's just hypothetically. He doesn't have around really the same. amount of ki that Goku has, because, yeah. But you pretty much get the analogy I'm trying to bring here, but yeah, that's what happened to King Ki. It transformed into fucking quirks and whatnot. Now that I explained what I wanted to explain, now you can get into pretty much the time skip and what has Deku developed since he was pretty much 4. So yeah, the time skip happens. Bakugo and Deku are still the same way towards each other, but it got more extreme. They have fought before, and Deku has found no way to lose against Bakugo. It almost seems impossible because, well, Bakugo, yeah, he can pretty much, like, Deku can literally absorb his hand, then just push it back out. So even like a hit, like a punch, wouldn't even work because the human body has matter. So pretty much, even if he throws his explosions at him, it's not gonna work because he can absorb energy. There's literally no way that Bakugo at that point in time could actually beat Deku. He pretty much over time has realized, oh shit, by the time he was 10, he would actually realize that, all this matter that I'm absorbing is actually turning into, well, ki, and I can use all these fucking abilities right now. Now, since, Goku's, well, story is pretty much like a tale at this point, like, it almost seems like a fairy tale. So there's like a written book of what actually happened in the past. So Deku, pretty much took this book, or he just went to the library, took the book, and he pretty much trained. He pretty much copied the techniques from the book, like things that like Goku have used and various people have used ki. So pretty much abilities like that, like basic ki abilities, he has pretty much mastered them, but the main ones that he uses are pretty much flying in Divine Lasso. Now, it did take pretty much like 8 of the 10 months to get down to basics for Deku, because all Deku has ever did, I mean, he has did martial arts, but he has not have did anything really of actual fighting. Because if Deku can just absorb matter, he doesn't actually have to fight you. He can just, absorb your hand, absorb whatever quirk energy you're using, and just tire you out and just probably one-shot you after that. So pretty much it took him like 8 months to pretty much get along with the learning curve of ki. He also learned martial arts before then, but still, instead of him meeting All Might or Bakugo, it would be Todoroki. Todoroki would meet All Might, and he would train with him just despite his dad at the beginning, but he would pretty much actually take the quirk by the end. And since he has actually used this quirk before, actually has been fit, unlike how Deku was before. So he would actually be able to do like 10% at the beginning. So pretty much Deku makes it to the entrance exam. So Deku's not late. Also, he didn't fall. So pretty much he walks in and he pretty much does the written test as easily as possible. Deku has always been a smarter character than usual shonen characters, but he's never been the smartest of all time. So he'll get like a 70 probably. They go to the place for the explanation of the entrance exam, and they're there and whatnot, and while the explanation goes as normal as possible, Bakugo is not sitting next to Deku, Todoroki is, and pretty much the reason why he's at the entrance exam, well, he wanted to push himself to try to use the quirk first day, and he's already at 10%, so he wanted to see what he could really do with the quirk. So pretty much that's why he's there. So he didn't take his recommendation. He was gonna get in anyway, whether he did or not. So pretty much him and Todoroki pretty much walk out the room. towards the gate, and pretty much as soon as the gate opens, Todoroki like just pretty much powers up with One for All, and he's like using like 5% at this point, or at that point in time. So pretty much he speeds off. He's probably like a little slower than Ida. So yeah, he pretty much catches up to him because Ida about to get bodied, and he instantly bodies a robot with his ice and whatnot. And meanwhile, Deku, he pretty much just absorbed some rubble that was falling from off a building, and well, that's what he's been doing. Like he's been climbing buildings and just projecting them with like ki and whatnot. So he's pretty much projecting like big ass boulders at robots and whatnot. And he pulls out his signature move, Divine Lasso. And he's pretty much just easily slicing through these robots. Like it's easy claps for him as he's pretty much like flying around and whatnot. And he pretty much like sees Uraraka running from the zero pointer once it pretty much emerges from the ground. Now the zero pointer actually attacks you instead of just walking around. So pretty much it's an actual threat. So Deku has more of a reason to go help Uraraka. And Uraraka doesn't even get caught under the rubble before the robot just gets dismantled by Todoroki and Deku, because Deku pretty much came around, and so did Todoroki. Todoroki wanted to test his strength, and Deku actually saw Uraraka, Todoroki didn't, so they pretty much all meet up then, and they all decide to work together to destroy the rest of the robots. So that's how they all get acquainted, pretty much. So pretty much with Deku, with Uraraka's and Todoroki's help, by the end of it, you'd probably have like 112 points. Todoroki would probably have 89, and Uraraka would probably have 65. Everything proceeds as normal. Deku goes home. He waits for the 2 weeks, and he gets his envelope, and pretty much he pretty much had the third highest score in the written test, so I guess that's cool. And he had first place in the entrance exam, so pretty much, yeah. Deku gets accepted in, and obviously Todoroki, Uraraka, and do pretty much the rest of the characters, but no one really cares about the other ones. So pretty much, everything goes as normal. Deku doesn't actually come late, so he's in the class. Uraraka comes through. Todoroki's been there. So pretty much, everybody who knew each other from the entrance exam, they all pretty much just start talking and whatnot. And Aizawa pretty much wakes up after, all the noise, and he pretty much tells them to shut up and to come outside for the apprehension test. So they all come outside for that, and Deku gets called up first to throw the ball, and pretty much Deku just absorbs the ball into his hand, and he shoots it out with the like a cannon. Can I speak? He shoots the ball out like a cannon using like ki, pretty much, so to like enhance his strength. I don't care if it works that way. It just is how Deku's gonna use it. So pretty much Deku, he just shoots it out, and yeah, whatever. So pretty much I'll say he will reach like probably 10,000 meters. So yeah, he would get like a good 10,000 meters. And yeah, Todoroki goes second. He would probably, using full 10% plus whatever he would usually do, probably good 3,000. Yeah. Bakugo still hits his 750. Uraraka hits her, infinity, which is not even a number, so doesn't really count though. But I guess Uraraka hit infinity, so pretty much the other characters get to whatever the fuck. And for the rest of the stuff, Deku and Todoroki either just share first place then, or they're pretty much like first, second. So yeah, pretty much It actually, no, for All Might's thing, for the hero versus villains, it's actually 3 vs 3 now. And it's obviously Deku, Todoroki, and Uraraka. So, against Bakugo, I'm not gonna put him with Ida because, bro, Ida's like a horrible teammate. Bakugo, Kirishima, and Zero. Hey, Zero's just as useless as Uraraka, so you might as well. So pretty much, Deku and Todoroki pretty much go upstairs. Like, what is Bakugo really gonna do? Oh, actually, I forgot. He actually busts through the wall, and he tries to fight Deku, but he actually tries to strategize with this one. He actually, instead of trying to attack Deku himself, he tries to use, the objects around him. So pretty much, like, if they're in the staircase, he's pretty much trying to, like, throw him into, like, the metal bars, then attack him with his explosion. So pretty much they catch him off guard so he can't use his quirk, then try to beat him down. But Uraraka makes him float to the sky, and he tries to use his explosions, but, it doesn't really help him too much. So pretty much, Deku just tells Todoroki just freeze him and up to the ceiling, which that's what happens because he was already floating. So he got freeze to the ceiling, and that stops him for a while, but he's gonna come back. Kirishima, he's like, oh shit, this nigga got freeze to the ceiling. So he pretty much hardens his arms and breaks through like one of the pillars and tries to lay it down at the door, so pretty much they can't get through. And he pretty much like goes out the window and tries to save Bakugo, and they do that pretty good. He pretty much gets him out of the ice by just punching it, and Bakugo, he pretty much just destroys the ceiling after that with his explosions and just torpedoes up in front of Deku when he comes through the room. So pretty much, Deku, he broke through with the divine lasso. So pretty much that's how he got through the door. And then he swings it at Bakugo, and Bakugo uses an explosion to pretty much propel himself away from the attack. And he actually, goes for Todoroki. Todoroki is pretty much like, okay, I don't even need my ice and fire, bro. So he literally just uses one for all right as Bakugo jumps up in the air and is about to do like a signature move. So pretty much, right as he jumps into the air, he pretty much grabs his leg and judo slams him on the ground with one for all. So yeah, Bakugo, he hurt, he's sad. But Kirishima come through and easily bodies Uraraka, and he continue on fighting Deku, and Bakugo continues fighting Todoroki. Pretty much Todoroki uses his ice just to block Bakugo's explosions and to just make him slip up and shit. So Bakugo, he's struggling, and he's pretty much trying to get the learning curve of trying to fight Todoroki. So Todoroki actually almost kicks Bakugo through the wall just by just pure strength of one for all that continuously going up just because Todoroki's god tier, easily the best character in My Hero. So pretty much Todoroki almost kicks him through the wall, and Bakugo, he just gets so mad that he uses so pretty much he would use his strongest move at this point in time, Blast Rush Turbo. Now I know that's only in the manga right now, but I'm gonna be honest with you. 1, I don't care. 2, Bakugo is a lot more stronger, except for like being physically stronger. He's a lot stronger with his quirk, just because the learning curve of trying to fight Deku for pretty much his whole life. So he had to do something to attempt to. So yeah, he got a lot stronger. So he uses his strongest move, Blast Rush Turbo, which I haven't even seen it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know what it looks like, but he uses it, and I guess it's just He uses explosions in a torpedo way and just pretty much spins around, uses explosions, trying to kick Todoroki. And Todoroki pretty much blocks, uses his ice and freezes his leg and slams him on the ground. Then tries to use like a Detroit smash. And pretty much, before Todoroki can get that last hit off to really body Bakugo, Uraraka just leaps on the bomb. So yeah, Bakugo, he's all angry and shit. Kirishima, we even had to look at his fight, bro. He's like, imagine somebody continuously just getting bopped, for seconds, bro. Not even seconds, minutes, hours, it seems. Like, bro, Kirishima was over there just getting bopped. Like, it wasn't even fair. So pretty much, Bakugo, he out here. He's down bad. He's crying and whatnot. He mad that Todoroki beat him and whatnot. And Todoroki is the successor for, All Might. And All Might pretty much pulls up on him. He's like, bruh, you almost bodied him. Like, literally. Like, you could have took this man out. You could have erased him from existence. You need to calm down, buddy. But pretty much, Todoroki, he understands. And, he's pretty much told to use his quirk a lot more lightly. You can't just be slamming people than just using a Detroit smash straight to the face. Unless you're All Might, of course, because, bro, he doesn't kill people. He just gives them brain damage. So pretty much, after a week or so of regular school shit, Deku hasn't really got any more stronger. Uraraka has pretty much got like a lot of motivation to be stronger because, bruh, like, the only people she really knows is Todoroki and Deku, and they're pretty much the strongest out of the class. So yeah, she got motivation to start training and whatnot. But pretty much, I forgot what it's called, the USJ? Yeah. So pretty much the USJ is pretty much what's happening there right now. They're on the bus and whatnot, and they pretty much try to ask Deku about how his quirk works. Now, his quirk work pretty much like this, he absorbs literally anything, like anything that has matter. Let's say he absorbs a piece of a wall, he can pretty much, get ki from that, and pretty much he can use Divine Lasso, but he doesn't call it ki because ki is pretty much like something supposedly supposed to be not real in My Hero, but even though it was the past, was transformed into quirks. So pretty much, yeah. So he pretty much just calls it like literally transferring over his power to to use it in a different way. So literally, like, technically his power is like offensive because he can just like absorb something, then just use it, then attack with it. So he probably would have clapped most of everybody in My Hero. So yeah, he pretty much explains his quirk and how he can pretty much absorb matter of literally anything, like literally any quirk energy at all, and pretty much do stuff like that. Like, pulls out the Divine Lasso, can pretty much fly and whatnot. They also asked about Todoroki's quirk because they thought it was just ice and fire, but now it's like literally like an enhancement quirk. So pretty much, it is what it is. After they pretty much get off the bus and whatnot, Deku, he pretty much walks in with the rest of the class, and everybody else is just listening to, I forgot the lady's name, Apollo 13. Yeah, it was 13. Yeah, they're just listening to 13 about how quirks can be fucking overpowered, and if you use them in the wrong way, you could actually hurt somebody. But that's when the villains pretty much pull up, and yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave this one off. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm already 9,000. Reply in the pinned comment down below if you want another part of this series.